So this is part of the mount raising process. You get a quest and it teaches you how to do it, but basically you plant a plant that is called Savo root, I think. No, Vita root. Vita root. And it's a food that you feed to your pets and your mounts and stuff like that to help them progress and level up, which you'll see here in a second. But so when it's done, you harvest it, choose your mount, and now we come to the mount raising part. So if you take the mount out of your inventory and place it on the ground, you'll notice that it's got a couple different things. The arrow is to pick it up. The other option, which I believe was the F option, is the interact. So you'll do different things. You'll feed it the Vita roots, or sometimes they take one, sometimes they take more, but most of the time it's only one. So you feed them the Vita root. As you saw, I went and got water. You can feed them some water. You can also wash them. I think coming up here in a second you'll be able to dance with them and stuff like that. But you interact with them, and it takes a couple of minutes. I think it's 2-3 minutes at most. And then eventually they're fully grown, and you don't have to worry about anything.
Right-click the mount icon in your bag to
You noticed Yinga lately? He was so cheerful when he moved here. Now he's so quiet. It's not natural.
He's not quiet when he's drunk. Raves about a woman, a kid, a family. Then storms off to brood at the waterfalls.
Wait, a family? He's a bachelor. He lives alone, works alone. I've never seen him with a woman or kid.
Maybe they're imaginary, I don't know. All I know is he won't shut up about them when he's drunk.
Hey, you! These boulders won't mind themselves.
Okay, let's go.
So the voice acting isn't great, but it's pretty good. As the game progresses, I think the voice acting gets a little bit better, but not a whole lot. And it wasn't too bad there, it just seemed a little bit cheesy and overdone at times. Now, the thing is that, as you can see here, the mechanics, the UI, whatever you want to call it, it's a little bit wonky, hard to get to things. It might have been because I parked my mount too close, but either way, you should be able to access it fairly easy, but had a little bit of difficulty there. The quest system can be a little bit grindy. They do try to vary it up quite a bit with the different tasks that you're doing. They'll throw in like gathering quests sometimes in between a whole bunch of killing quests or other similar things, just to kind of break the sameness of it all. Now these are the priestess that hang around the resurrection shrines where you'll res if you die. Important thing to know about them: if your pet dies, and it's an animal or a creature, it will revive there. There's also a way that if you pray, I think it's H, but if you pray, they will give you your EXP back in exchange for labor, and labor is a set amount of points you get every day to complete certain tasks, and stuff like that.
Hold shift left.
A leaf that can reveal what you truly seek. At first blush, it sounded like incredibly powerful magic. How useful if it could have shown you the exact location of Yinga's laboratory. Instead, it showed you a rock, and not a rock hiding the entrance to a secret lab. Rather, a rocky stone head that provided little more than additional questions. The head had known the real Yinga to visit a particular colossus at some waterfalls. But its consciousness faded away before it could share much else. These breadcrumbs you've been finding made it seem you'd been reduced to a mountain sheep. Just a mindless creature to be herded from one shepherd to the next. Still, you were better off than the beheaded rock, not to mention Michaela's fraud of a father. What had possessed the man to take up the mantle of such a famed inventor was a mystery. Unfortunately for the young girl, that was not the mystery you'd been asked to solve.
Now, as you level up, not only do you get new skills, which you'll see here that I'm looking at, but you also get 3 different skill trees that you can learn. Each of them will add up to create a bigger class. There's something like 100 and some classes that you can choose from. But anyways, something else that's important to note about that: your skills and your proficiency in doing certain skills, your healing skills, your attack skills, stuff like that, will level up as well. So the skills kind of rank themselves up on top of your armor bonus. It's kind of neat. So I figured this would give you a pretty good idea of how the combat works. As you can see, that you can see when I'm comboing skills and stuff like that. But so there's different attacks. You know, you can leap in, which is supposed to catch them off guard or potentially knock them down. Then you leap into a strike. If that strike's successful, it then turns into another skill, you know, which is a different strike, and they just kind of keep comboing off of each other. But yeah, and most classes get 2 weapon sets, so it varies your... It just varies a little bit. You know, you can have some ranged attacks mixed with some melee and stuff like that, but most of the time if you follow the combos, or, you know, as closely as you can do some pretty, you know, decent damage, so... Now, something else that's in the game is Siege, and Siege is used in PvP and PvE. So you can see here there's this cannon, and you kind of have to aim it. It's pretty much only with the keyboard that you can aim it. I thought you could use the mouse, but it's pretty much only the keyboard for the Siege. There's cannons, there's drivable tanks, they're like tanks, there's catapults, there's ballistas, there's stuff like that, but the PvP has castle warfare, so it's more used in PvP, but there is some in PvE, and depending on which race you choose, you even get a Siege tutorial because it's used in your storyline and stuff like that, so... So, I hope that this was informative. I tried not to spoil too much of it, just kind of go over some basic, simple mechanics that I thought would be interesting, and good to know for any new starting player. So yeah, I hope this helped, and hope you enjoyed it.